Yeah, there guys, Mim here. Now, if you're anything like me and is a connoisseur of internet porn and probably watch a bit too much of it, you'll no doubt have your own particular turn-offs when it comes to engaging in your extracurricular activity. For me, one of the biggest turn-offs is when a woman's getting buggered by a 12-inch lamb dagger and she has this relatively blank expression on her face. She's mouthing the words, "Oh yes, dick me harder," but she's not particularly trying to act like she's enjoying it, more that she's thinking about what she's going to have for dinner, while her body goes through the motions. And I thought that this was a phenomena isolated to pornography. However, I found out recently that in the acting world, there is something known as scripted improv, where actors try to act like they're not acting at all, and ultimately it comes across as a little bit shallow, vapid, and just a teeny bit condescending. I mean, I'm not asking for much, just put at least a little bit of effort into it. Bearing that in mind, we now get to the video in question. Joss Whedon's Save the Day video. This was a video created by Joss Whedon's PAC, and it's encouraging Americans to vote in the upcoming election. Now, it seems that no one decided to remind Whedon that people generally dislike it when actors appear to be the moral superiors and attempt to tell people what to do. To be honest, I think the only time that people relatively tolerated it was during Band-Aid, and that was because they were presented with quite a fucking kick-ass concert. However, this being current year, we're greeted with a YouTube video and a myriad of celebrities that Joss Whedon seems to personally know. So, take it away, Iron Man.
On Tuesday, November 8th, this country will make one of the most important decisions in its history.
Okay, I have no idea who the other two people were, but yes, I guess a national election is relatively important for the country in question.
You have a chance.
You have an obligation
To be a part of that decision.
No, I don't. I'm in the UK. I mean, if you'd started off the video by saying that Americans have the opportunity to get involved, then by all means go for it. It irks me slightly that people seem to forget that YouTube is a global platform. But hey, I guess the American presidential election is a global event, unless you're literally in some bamboo cabin in the middle of an Indonesian jungle. It's kind of hard to escape it. And even then, that particular bamboo cabin would have to be without any form of internet whatsoever.
You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important.
Fuck you, dickhead. I'll be unimportant if I want to be unimportant. Stop telling me what to do.
But that's not true. And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
Repeating how important.
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 How important it is.
And why would that make it any more apparent to someone that it's an important event? I mean, are you honestly trying to appeal to people whose validation relies on actors telling them what to do? Have we actually gone into Team America territory here, where we need the fucking Film Actors Guilds, a bunch of fags, telling the American populace that this is an important event, like they haven't paid attention to reality in the past year? If that is true, then there genuinely is no hope for America. And who is it that decided that holding signs in videos and pictures on the internet was somehow powerful?
Register.
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 Vote.
Okay, yeah, I have no particular problem with that part of the message. Register and vote. To be honest, it doesn't matter who you vote for, but engaging with the system is probably the only way to try and change the system. Unless you want to be one of these people who doesn't vote and then feels morally superior at the failings of the political party in power and go, oh, I didn't vote for them.
There's so many famous people.
Some of us aren't as famous, but still pretty famous.
Like, you've seen us somewhere.
And now begins the insincerity. Why does it matter whether we've seen you somewhere or not? To be honest, I have no fucking clue who most of these people are if they didn't star in any of the fucking Marvel films. It just strikes me as odd that they seem to see their fame as a currency to be some sort of arbiter of morality, or that their prestige as an actor kind of gives them some look into reality that mere mortals just don't have. That everyday folk just can't comprehend how important it is to vote, but actors fundamentally understand the world better than the person who calls into a radio show at the end of working a 12-hour day.
Sometimes a not famous person will be mixed in with the famous ones.
Why is she so small? Seriously, is she just a really, really tiny person? Or was this a deliberate camera trick? Or did they really fuck up and no one thought to actually zoom in post-production? It's just jarring. I'm now not listening to what she's saying. I'm now sitting there going, why the fuck are you so small?
They drive the message home
because of their unpolished sincerity.
Their unpolished sincerity.
Again, who thought this was funny? Who thought that this gag was actually fucking humorous? If anything, it just detracts from the message. Their unbridled sincerity has been removed by a fucking ex-alcoholic. Or is this trying to appeal to some sort of chump who sits there and goes, oh my god, Robert Downey Jr. He's now trying to act and not acting normal. Ha 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 ha, I'm gonna vote. Fuck's sake, whoever wrote this, please just have a little bit more respect for the average person. Sure, they may not be able to stand on a set and deliver lines that were written for them, but they're not fucking idiots. You want to talk about unbridled sincerity? I wonder how many of these rich cunts actually have their money in tax havens. Just saying, how many of them would actually be doing this sort of video if it was Bernie running against Trump, not Hillary?
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological crisis
or you're getting paid to do it.
A racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Whoa, fuck's sake, Don Cheadle. Talk about flipping the script. Where the hell did that come from? Up until this point, it was just insincere bollocks. I mean, that's not even subtle. That's not even a subtle hint at the dislike you lot have for Trump. I mean, you could have been talking about Hillary, maybe. No, I'm not even going to fucking try and continue that.
Do the math. Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
Firing things? Really? Wow, guys, come on. You're going after the man's catchphrase on his TV show. You're trying to equate the sacking of someone in a reality TV show to launching nuclear missiles. Now, the other thing in pornography that really does turn me off is when the actress is trying too hard. She's making it sound as if the very feeling of just having a dick inside her is orgasmic. And not only is it orgasmic, it is the best damn orgasm she has ever had. This right here with the "You're fired" placard and the primary school rocket drawn next to it is trying far too hard. You had a lovely message. Go out, register and vote. And now you've turned your message into an absolute farce.
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
You can kill yourself.
We can save the day.
By killing yourself.
For our children.
For our children.
For our children.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For our community.
Why are you sounding like you're crying? I'm just getting more and more confused by this video as it goes on.
For America.
For America.
For America.
Again, is this meant to be more emotional at the fact that you're acting like you're crying?
All it takes is all of us.
I have no idea who that actor is, but he is an incredibly good-looking man. Just saying.
All of us.
All of us.
We cannot pretend both sides are equally unfavorable.
No, both sides are equally unfavorable. In fact, this US presidential election seems to be a statement of how bad politics has gotten when the change candidate is the one who is a businessman and a TV actor, as if Donald Trump has sat there and said, you know what? US politics has got so bad, the whole entire system is so unfavourable, I actually need to get involved now.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
My lord, stop crying.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters.
It affects everything.
Not just the presidency, but the Senate.
The House.
Your local officials.
Immigration.
Immigrant.
Student debt. Common sense gun laws.
The Supreme Court.
And herein we get to the crux of the matter. They want you to vote Democrat. These people here have probably been paid, or there's been favours called in to get them on screen to voice concerns about the Democrat platform and why you need to vote Democrat in order to address all of these issues.
See, this isn't just an election, it's a tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
For your world.
Yeah, and what people are saying is in their world, they want jobs and they want security. It just strikes me as unbelievably interesting how these two facts seem to be completely ignored by those on the American left, by the Democrats, by their allies and supporters. It's not just people who traditionally vote Democrat, because you have a vast section of those people who wanted for Bernie in.
because Bernie didn't represent the same level of corruption as such as we've seen with Hillary. And even then, Hillary's platform isn't one that promotes jobs or promotes security within America. That kind of seems to fall to Trump. And the fact that what we have on screen now are mostly high-profile movie actors, they're not people who have to worry too much about jobs or security. So again, all this video comes down to is appealing to the sort of person who will sit there and go, oh my God, there's celebs on screen, they're telling me to vote, I'm going to vote, and I'm going to vote Hillary because I don't want to vote Trump because I don't want Trump, and they're celebs, and they're talking directly to me. Whereas anyone else would see this as completely insincere and wholly condescending. I mean, I'm not even an American and I find this condescending.
If you don't know how or where to register,
Go to savetheday.vote.
Savetheday.vote.
Make yourself heard.
Tell the world that you care about what happens to it.
And if you do vote,
There we go, guys. Back on message. I like this bit, go out, vote, do it, get involved, engage the system, try and change it, but don't vote Trump. You lot make no fucking sense.
And help protect this country from fear and ignorance.
Mark will do a nude scene in his next movie?
Not gonna lie, I just had to Google who Mark Ruffalo is. Now, as to why seeing Mark Ruffalo's cock would actually be motivation for anyone to go out and vote, I don't know. Is this how bad the American system has come? We've gotten to literally whoring a man out for your vote. Don't get me wrong, I mean, if it was the Hulk's cock that was out, that would be quite interesting and funny. Just him wading through armies of bad guys, just with his massive schlong smacking them in the face. That would actually be quite a funny scene and something that I'm desperately hoping for in the director's cut of the next Hulk film.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo will do a nude scene in his next movie.
Wait, what?
Mark will do a nude scene.
Mark's gonna have his dick out.
full Monty.
Full Marky.
No.
Ah, stop the fake acting normal. Don't lie, Mark, you dirty slut. You would love to get naked on screen. To be honest, you'd like to actually do anything in any of the Avengers films rather than just walk around and be like, no, I can't do it. I can't get angry.
Go to savetheday.vote. When nobody talked about.
Save the day
Make Mark be naked.
by making your mark on November 8th.
Someone thought really hard about that line. That was their moment of glory after banging too much cocaine. And they said, make Mark be naked by making your mark. Got it, guys. Someone got paid for that line. And people are wondering why nobody quite trusts the Democrats.
They should just vote because it matters, Don't you think?
We're all in this together. That's why the most popular or memorable actor is the last one you see.
Really?
I have no idea who you are, bruv. I don't even have a name to Google you from right now.
Yeah, really.
Okay, yeah, that last bit there, that was clever. Again, why is she so small? But, okay, I'll give them props to that last bit. So, at the end of the day, you have to wonder what actual impact this will have. If there were people who weren't planning on voting anyway, would something like this really inspire them to vote? Rather than getting a bunch of normal-looking people to talk about why they would vote or vote Hillary or something like that, we got a bunch of celebs telling us to vote. Now, if you was on the fence of who you would vote for, would this really tip you in favour of Hillary? Again, what this demonstrates is a complete misunderstanding of social reality right now. When you look at people like PewDiePie, when you look at Total Biscuit, Boogie2988, why are they popular? Because they seem like normal people. The things that they say might be for an audience, sure, they may be acting, but they're not actors. They come across as normal people, and that's the thing that resonates. Why is Twitch TV taking off in the way that it is? It's because you can watch normal people who are incredibly skilled at a game play. Hell, why do you come to a Megon's channel? Because he's a normal bloke that you can relate to. And that's what Trump's doing. He seems more normal than these lot. He seems like a person that if you did meet in a bar and you said, hey Don, let me buy you a drink, he'd go, yeah, sure. Oh, I got 10 minutes. Or he'd actually seem more like the sort of person who goes, look, come on. I'm the billionaire here, I'll buy you a drink. But when you look at the people who are on screen now, what you see is people who do not live in social reality. They live in their own Hollywood microcosm. It's the same as when Russell Brand went on Question Time and started banging on about the bankers. People turned around and went, Russ, you're worth 9 fucking million quid, mate. And yet you're banging on about how unfair it is. Rather than sitting there and complaining like a little bitch, you put your big boy girl-sized jeans on and you actually use your influence that you've accrued over the course of your career and try to actually make a change to the system. And then he turned around and said, no, I don't want to become one of them. And everyone went, well, sit down, shut up. You're not helping. You're just sitting here bitching and complaining to raise your own profile. And again, I don't particularly care who becomes the next president of the United States. But me being me and seeing something like this, I sit there and go, God, I wish Donald Trump gets in. Just to see the look on these people's faces when they realise that they won't get their own way. Or to hear them then distance themselves from this PAC-funded video, fearing that it's going to be damaging to their career. Anyway, I've been Mim Headroom, producing a video on behalf of Megan. If you have enjoyed this video at any point in time, please feel free to light up that like button. If you haven't subscribed to Megan's channel by now, do so and share this video with someone who would enjoy it. And if you fancy it, come on over to my channel where there will indeed be more.